Okay, welcome to all of you here who joined us for our session today. We do begin with our standard disclaimer. We show this every time we're talking about markets and money stuff in general, particularly the markets, because we are legally obligated, and also in terms of our own integrity and intention, we like to remind you that past performance in the markets does not guarantee future results. We will be talking about performance in the markets and reminding you that as you put money in the markets, regardless of the tools, methodologies, or the markets you're trading, you're risking that money. And sometimes it's more than you put in as well. So with that said, let's move ahead here and see if we can get our slides to advance properly. Actions here. There we go. We can go forward and backward. This is good. We're talking about what's working now in astro trading, and we do want to welcome all of you to our time here together today. I am Tim Bost with FinancialCyclesWeekly.com. I'm editor and publisher here. I've been doing this for a number of years. We are now the global leader in astro trading education. We're all about training, coaching, mentoring, consulting, publishing. We produce unique tools, do DVDs, CDs, online courses and classes, and publish newsletters, have membership programs. The main aim here is to help you improve your market performance and to advance your personal success along the way. So this is the vehicle we've chosen for that. So let's talk about what you're getting during our time together here today. We'll try to keep this at about an hour with our time. If we have lots of questions, we may take longer than that, but we know we all have weekends to attend here, so we'll focus here. You're going to learn exactly how a powerful set of market timing tools has produced trading results that beat the markets year after year after year. We've been doing this very, very consistently, and how you can benefit from those market timing tools yourself without a lot of hard work, without having to be a market guru or trading expert yourself. Plus, at the end of our webinar, we're going to show you how you can get $3,499 worth of astro trading tools for free. So stick around to the end. We'll be sure to talk about that, make sure we can connect you with that along the way. So here's the deal for our time together today. First of all, I'm going to promise you that I'm going to go all out here during this next hour to deliver the best possible value to you, the most useful information to help you succeed with your own trading in the markets, provided that you give me your attention. Let me know if you have questions, comments along the way. That's why we have the chat box. A couple of you have already discovered that. Please make use of it during our time together here today. If there are questions or concerns that come up, pop them in there. We'll talk about them. Grab a pencil or a pen, paper. Take some notes along the way. That'll help you remember what we're talking about. And if I get on a rant and you have a question, jot down the question. And that way, when I pause for breath, you can pop it in there or go ahead and type it in the chat box. Either way, that'll work just fine. So get focused. This is a good time to make sure the cell phone is off. I always put this slide in here to remind me of that. And with any luck here, I can at least mute this thing in the background here. Let's see if we can make this go away. Something like that here. Hello? Maybe not. I've got okay, power off. That looks like a good thing to do. Okay. So maybe we'll prevent some of this stuff from ringing in the background. We've got a number of phones and other devices around here. Some of them may start buzzing and clicking in the background, but we do try to minimize that kind of interruption at this end. So whatever you need to do, put out the cat, lock the door, tell your friends and neighbors, family that you'll be occupied for the next little bit, and get everything focused here. So again, we're talking about being the global leader in astro trading education. That's why we're doing a program like this. Our work has been featured in financial publications across the globe. We need to update this list. We've been on a number of others in the meantime here. Been interviewed on Forex Analytics. Of course, we're pretty much a regular guest now, about once a month, every 3 weeks or so. Larry Pesavento has us on his program called Trade What You See. This is on the Tiger Financial News Network. And we always enjoy talking with Larry about what's coming up in the markets. Been featured in Timer Digest, a publication that reviews market timing services of all sorts, not only in astro trading, but in all kinds of market analysis, and gives kind of a ranking to the market timers in terms of their accuracy in forecasting the markets. And we've consistently been in the top 10. Our ranking will vary from time to time. They publish every 3 weeks. Sometimes we're at the bottom of the list, sometimes nearer the top. But for 2017, we share top honors for the most accurate work for that year. At the end of that year, early 2018, we were very, very pleased to get that recognition of the work that we're doing there. Our model portfolio has outperformed the Dow Jones Industrials by an average of 559% per year for the last 17 years. Now, that is an annual figure. That's not over 17 years we've come out that much better. We do that year after year after year on average. Some years are better than that, some years a little weaker. But typically, that's how much better than the market indices we're doing with this approach we're talking about here today. We've also gotten a lot of praise, endorsements from other people involved in the markets. Robert Miner with Dynamic Trading Group or Traders Group has recommended the work that we do, as well as Mahmoud Syed with Invest in Harmony says we've helped them figure out some things that were otherwise pretty mysterious. He's pretty astute in the work he's done in analyzing the markets, particularly the oil markets and gold. Michael Yorba, well-known TV radio host, has been with a number of different networks and programs over the years. We've had the privilege to have been his guest for the last 12, 15 years on occasion, and we'll get together. And early on in our relationship, he began using the work here that we've been working with, and says it makes you feel like you're cheating when you do this because it gives you a real advantage. Norman's with us. Hi, Norman. DC's with us. Running late. Glad you're popping in here. As you join us, say hi. And keep the comments coming. If we have questions that come from you, we'll do our best to answer them. Lisa says, thought it would start at 6. We did, in fact. We were a minute or two late getting things connected. But we've been together here for almost 9-10 minutes, something like that. So at any rate, that's 6 Eastern, whatever time, what time zone are you in? That may make a difference here. Of course, we've had individual traders who do this kind of stuff on a part-time basis. We're pleased with the results that they're getting as well. And during our time together today, we're going to focus on how you can use some unique timing tools to beat the markets without big risk, without having to be a trading expert yourself. And when traders look for opportunities in the markets, there are typically two basic approaches that we traditionally take as we look for opportunities. We call it fundamental analysis and technical analysis. With fundamental analysis, we are looking at what's happening with the performance of a company. We examine the balance sheets and look at the profitability of their endeavors, because when we're buying shares of stock, we're essentially owning a piece of the company. Then Norman says sometimes tech doesn't treat them right. Well, technical analysis, basically, Norman, is our effort to look at the historic changes in the price of the stock with the belief that this is going to reflect more or less accurately the performance of the company as well. So we can look at the company and figure out what's going on with the CEO, whether the earnings reports are accurate, that kind of thing, and do our grunt work, our homework at that level. This is the approach that was promulgated by Benjamin Graham a few decades ago, and it still holds up very, very well. Technical analysis came around in the 1960s or so. And since that time, it's had a number of variations with it. But again, when we talk about technical analysis, we're basically using charting techniques to look at a synopsis of what's going on historically with the company based on a trading chart we believe that we can forecast on that basis. So we use those tools. These are two most popular approaches to market analysis in our trading. But with the astro trading approach, we add a third component. We continue to use the fundamental analysis. We like to look at earnings reports and understand fundamentally what's going on with the company, whether or not it's viable. We do like to look at the technical charts because they can give us ideas about the trading ranges of particular stocks. Sometimes that's very, very important information to take into consideration. But we add this third component, which is astrological analysis. Now, when we talk about using astrology, we don't use this by itself. We don't use it in a vacuum with our approach to astro trading. It's one of the tools that we use. It's vital in terms of giving us insights that we believe give us a considerable trading advantage. But what we're looking at here is adding this additional component to fundamental analysis and technical analysis. Now, when we add astrology to our trading, it makes a very difference, and we like to reap the rewards and share this information with others about how you can do the same. And that's really what we're all about when we talk about being the global leader in astro trading education. How do we share this information? Now, let's talk about what's behind all this. As we talk about using astro trading, there are well-defined correlations between planetary phenomena and the movements of the markets. And when we understand those correlations, then we gain this advantage in our trading. So these correlations between planetary phenomena that can be as simple as the phases of the moon or solar eclipses or more complex planetary phenomena, we look at a lot of them here with our work. We've been doing this for a number of decades now, so we've accumulated some experience, and we figured out to a large extent what works and what doesn't work. The key here is being able to understand those correlations. That's the work that we do here very, very intensely. We continue our research. We do a lot of publishing and writing and looking at new hypotheses along the way, and so we add that to the mix as we move forward. This is what gives us that advantage. So to get the benefits of adding astrology to your trading, there are three critical steps to take. First thing is we have to set aside the myths and the misconceptions about astrology and astrological symbolism. You know, when I meet people in a social context or at a cocktail party, something of that sort, they ask, what do I do? I've learned to say I do market analysis and forecasting so we can talk about the markets. As soon as I say I use astrology in the markets, then immediately they misunderstand what astrology is all about. And that's, I guess a given, because there are lots of popular ideas about astrology which aren't always accurate. I'm a Gemini and you're a Taurus. Can we get along with each other? That kind of thing. I'm a Pisces, so I shouldn't be trading at all. All that's fun to play with, but that's not the astrology we're talking about. What we're talking about is understanding the dynamics of planetary cycles and their harmonic structures. That's the analysis that we're doing here. That's what the real astrology is all about that we're applying to the markets, because we look at the correlations there along the way. And then once we're doing that and we discover these correlations, we are following really in the footsteps of pioneering astro traders like W.D. Gann and George Bayer and Jensen and others who really began to work with some of these correlations in the middle years of the 20th century. So this is a fairly new development as far as techniques go in applying it to the markets. So the third thing that we do is we take the time to do lots of empirical research. We do back testing of these correlations between the planetary phenomena and the actual historical price action in the markets. In other words, we don't depend on symbolism and we don't depend on our assumptions about things that are good or bad in terms of planetary influences. We test and see what the actual correlations have been. And then we figure out what actually works. And once we do, we just keep doing it. And that's what gives us our trading success overall. So let's put this into a current perspective. One of the things we're getting together here is to look at the current situation in the market, what's working right now. And here's what's going on. We clock the close here. That's one of the reasons we postponed starting this session until a little after 6 p.m. Eastern. We wanted to make sure we could get the closing data from the markets at 4 p.m. So the Dow closed today at 26,403.28, S&P at 2926.46, NASDAQ 7962.88, and Russell at 1494.84. So there was an effort, since earlier in the month to try to establish a bullish motivation in the markets. Didn't work very well. Number of failed rallies along the way. Most of these indices were up for today. I believe the NASDAQ was off on a day-to-day basis. At any rate, the important thing here is that all of these indices set pretty powerful highs in the last few days of July 24th or 25th, somewhere in that range. Different indices set them on different days, but clustered together in late July. They had highs, and then compared to those highs, they are all down fairly significantly. The Dow is down 3.6%, the S&P down 3%, NASDAQ down 4.4%, the Russell's down almost 6% just since the end of July, and so August was not a very positive month for the market. So we could say that overall, in spite of the efforts to move it higher. So what we have been experiencing lately is a period of very extreme volatility. Not only has the market trended down overall, but it's had some very, very big down days and then a few powerful up days and back and forth. So it's been some pretty wild swings here. But all of this has taken place after the first half of this year, which looked fairly bullish, but that followed on an extremely bearish year and major losses in 2018. For 2018, the S&P was down 6.25%. The Dow was down 5.6%. NASDAQ down almost 4%. The Russell down almost 13% for that trading year. So we want to keep that in mind here in terms of this overall perspective. Now, based on the work that we've been doing here lately, our current cycle analysis and looking at what's going on right now, we use our back testing with the historical patterns along the way to see what's happened before in similar situations. And what we're expecting is to see stock prices hitting a trading bottom as we move into September. Now, this does not imply a gigantic rally. And it doesn't imply the lowest point of the trading year, but from the shorter term perspective, we're looking at a potential trading bottom coming up. Now, here's our projection that we're looking at in this regard. This is what we're focusing on short term here. So let's take a few minutes and explore this. What we have indicated with A through H here are planetary stations that are coming up between now and the end of October. It's a pretty busy period. We are now pretty much at point A, or just shy of that. Point A actually occurs tomorrow on Saturday the 31st. And so you can see here we're moving up into mid-October with an anticipated pullback toward the from mid-October to the end of October there with this particular chart. Now, these are the specific things that we don't have them labeled A through H, but they follow that same order here. Tomorrow on the 31st of August, we have the trans-Neptunian factor Admetos making its retrograde station. We've been talking about this for some time as a potential indicator of a bottom in the market, and we forecast that the S&P, the market indices, would basically head down in August toward that particular turning point. Now, we've essentially reached that. And of course, here in the U.S., Monday is a market holiday due to the Labor Day holiday. The markets will be closed. There won't be any active trading on Monday. So we could get the bottom in on Tuesday when trading resumes. It may be a down day from there. So we're not trying to nail the exact date of the bottom, but simply indicating this is what we're seeing here as we finish up August, move into September. Then on September 12th, we've got Cupido turning direct. It's currently in retrograde motion. Saturn is also retrograde. It'll be going direct on the 18th of September. On Thursday, on the 3rd of October, not Thursday of October, the 3rd of October, Pluto will go direct. It's also currently in retrograde motion. And then we have 4 planets that are currently in direct motion that will be going retrograde on the 10th of October. The trans-Neptunian Hades goes retrograde on the 12th. The trans-Neptunian Kronos goes retrograde. On October 31st, we have Mercury going retrograde as well as Vulcanus making a retrograde station that same day. So it's a pretty powerful set of combinations with these. So short term, we're watching for 3 key astrological factors to gradually define this support zone in trading. The first is this Admetos retrograde station that we have coming up tomorrow. We won't dig into that very deeply here today because we've talked about it in previous webinars and have written about it extensively as an indicator of a potential turn in the markets. We're finding a reinforcement with that potentially with Cupido going direct and Saturn going direct on the 12th and 18th of September, respectively. So this is what that ABC pattern looks like based on our cycle projection, with A being the Admetos station, B the Cupido station, C the Saturn station, B and C on the 12th and 18th there of September. So what we can see here is a bottoming pattern. Any one of these 3 could actually technically be a lower low than the others, but generally speaking, this is what we're looking at as reinforcement for our assumption that markets will be heading up as we move into the month. We're also going to be watching this Pluto station. This is on the 3rd of October. This really will begin triggering a new wave of price consolidation to follow that during the month of October. So that's something been in retrograde motion for some time. It will make its direct station. We have Pluto stationary direct SD there at point D on our chart. And as you can see, this is not necessarily the absolute high, but we believe with that little plateau that follows that portion of the trading projection, this is where we're going to start to see some of that topping action with that. Here, we can zoom in a little bit there as well. So we have that Pluto station coming in on the 3rd of October, beginning to define a trading top. And again, that may be a gradual one there based on our cycle projections in connection with that. So this is what's coming up in October then with the Pluto direct station on the 3rd, Hades on the 10th going retrograde, on the 12th of October, Kronos going retrograde. We think those 3 will work in combination then to provide this impetus toward price consolidation as we move toward the end of October, of course, with the simultaneous stations on Halloween there. So we'll see how all that plan plays out there. This is an earlier projection here. So we believe that there could be a major opportunity based on all this for savvy astro traders. If you're using these tools and applying them correctly, there are some big opportunities during the coming weeks, over the next couple of months here. So the question is, how do we make that happen? How do we put together an intelligent approach to astro trading in the equities markets, and how do we select the highest probability trades that can transform our financial results along the way? Now, what we're doing here is combining, once again, the astrological analysis with fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and we have a very, very disciplined approach to trading. With some of our membership programs, specifically with our Gold Plus Elite membership program, we do a lot of work with the S&P and look at that on a regular basis to encourage our members who are interested in trading the indices to study that. And so we provide information to our Gold Plus Elite members about the current trends in the S&P, our anticipated turning points of those markets, and even inflection points on an intraday basis there to empower that. But the predominant work that we do is with individual equities. Now, the process that we use here isn't terribly difficult. There are lots of moving parts to it. And so you might want to jot down a few notes here. We're going to go through this fairly rapid fire here to give you an overview of how we approach this so that you can get a sense of how this particular system works. So let's talk about the trading process as we apply it here in terms of dealing with trades in individual equities. The first step is that we do an overall analysis. We want to see what the prevailing trend is in the market. And sometimes this is pretty well defined. Other times when we have extreme volatility, it's much more of a challenge just to answer this question. What kind of a trend is it? We like to remind ourselves that we not only have uptrends and downtrends, sometimes we get trading congestion, a lateral or sideways trend in the markets as well, but we try to at least have an informed opinion about that as our starting point. The second thing that we do is that we have a list of potential trades that we're considering. And these come from a variety of sources. We like to track the news. We like to look at stocks that we're following on an ongoing basis, looking for optimum trading opportunities. We do a good bit of cycle analysis work, and we'll flag things sometimes months in advance, saying, okay, this will be a time frame when we'll want to come back and examine this particular stock. Sometimes there are there's a big rally in a particular stock, and it attracts our attention that way, and we go back and do our analysis. So we've got lots of possible sources for those trades. And our first step here, once we've looked at the overall trend in the market, is to compile the list. And then we start filtering. We find reasons not to trade as many of those as we possibly can. One of the things on our list might be a hot tip from our brother-in-law, and he's a great guy and fun to have a cookout with, but terribly inaccurate with his stock forecast. So just on the basis that our brother-in-law recommended it, we might have scratched that one off our list. So for whatever our reasons are, we try to narrow the field a little bit as our third steps. And then fourth, we have the remaining candidates that we're looking at, and that's when we begin to apply our astrological tools. We try to do a detailed analysis. We like to use our first trade horoscope in most cases here to examine what's going on, see what the current situations are with regard to those, how do the prospects look overall in terms of the kinds of research and tools that we've been working with here for the last 5 decades. We've learned pretty well what works and what doesn't work in that area. The fifth step is we identify the most important upcoming transits that can impact those trades. So once we've looked at the first trade horoscopes with those the stocks that we're still considering, what we're looking at then are the current planetary positions. This is an extension of that astrological analysis that we're doing here along the way. So we add the transits, we see which ones are most likely to impact those trades, and then we backtest those transits to see what's happened historically with the particular stocks that we're considering. We might have, for example, Mars conjoining first trade Jupiter, and we have about 20 years of trading history with that particular stock. We're going to go back and look at the times that Mars has previously conjoined first trade Jupiter to see what has happened in the past. And over a 20-year period, we would expect to see about 10 different passages of Mars over that particular point. So we'd take that sample and see what's happened in the past, what's the average response. This is what we can anticipate on that basis. So we provide the filtering then by doing that back testing. The seventh step is once we've determined what looks like a good trading candidate, we want to figure out the best time to enter the trade. Now, there are considerations that apply specifically to the individual stock, but we've also taken into consideration here the current trading conditions and market conditions, as well as astrological factors that can impact the timing there as well. So, again, this is information that we share with our members in our Gold Plus Elite program. We have a weekly conference call with that group, and we say, these are the stocks that we're considering trading for this week. Here are the specific dates that we consider entering those trades. In other words, we're doing this analysis so our members don't have to, and it saves them a good bit of time and energy. The eighth step that we take then is to determine the appropriate level for an initial stop loss order. We don't enter any trade without some idea of how we're going to protect our trading capital, which is to say, how big a loss are we willing to take on any given trade. We like to calculate that ahead of time. And then finally, step 9 is we actually enter the trade. We figured out what it is that meets all of our criteria. We filtered it out. It meets the standard in terms of the astrological impacts as well. We figured out how much we're willing to lose on the trade so we can protect ourselves. We actually enter the trade. And this says purchasing shares in the selected stock. Sometimes we take short positions, in which case we sell short instead of buying the shares. So depending on our position there, that's what we're looking at in that regard. Then the 10th step, as soon as we're in the trade, we put on the stop loss order. And that's why we take time to figure out ahead of time what our proposed initial stop is going to be once we enter a trade. Now, sometimes we'll be dealing, especially in a volatile market, with big price swings, so that by the time we enter the trade on our predetermined time, the price may have moved considerably away from the point at which we were doing our analysis. We never enter a trade and then put on a stop that automatically knocks us out of the trade. We may recalibrate the stop at that point, but always, we want to do that as soon as we have a live position on. We want a stop in place that'll take us out, because we'd rather take the small losses and do so in a hurry by having the stops hit, rather than stick around for trades and hope that they start to treat us well after going into a losing position. Then, assuming that the trades do not go into a losing position, we continue to watch that stop and manage the trades accordingly. Our process here with our model portfolio is to review that on a weekly basis and to go in and say, okay, what's happened with the price movement of this particular position that we have? If it has moved in our favor, then we begin to trail the stop. We move that up to reduce the amount of exposure that we've got with the trading position. If it has turned profitable, we try to lock in those profits along the way by incrementally trailing that stop. And as long as the trade continues to move in our direction, then we're pleased to follow along with it and look at it from that perspective. Finally, the 12th step is we close out the trade. What happens is we'll get a trend reversal, and the price will hit the stop that we have in place. Hopefully, we've moved it up to a profitable zone, and we can close out the trade. But whenever it hits the current stop, we are out of the trade. Essentially, we're letting the market determine when we exit the trade, and we find that this simplifies a lot of the work. We're a little bit newer to the trading process. Then we record all of our results. We want to make sure we write down what's happened, where we bought it, when we sold it, how much, how long we held it, percentage of profit or loss, what were our reasons for getting into it in the first place, any other observations. I had a stomach ache when I bought it, so I probably shouldn't have. Whatever it is, it may seem trivial at the time, but as we go back and look at our trading journals later on, these observations that we record become very, very important to us and really provide an education along the way. Then finally, step 14 is that we do it all over again. Rinse and repeat. What happens is that we are out of the trade, and we've taken the trading capital that we put into that trade, put it back in our account. If we've taken a small loss because a stop was hit, we put it back a little bit less than we took out. If we've made a profit on the trade, we put that accrued money into the account as well, so we add a little bit extra there. We can then take that trading capital, recycle it with a new trade. So we go through the whole process again, starting at step number 1. Again, if we find something that works, we do it over and over and over again to get the results. So this is the approach that we've been developing during the last 5 decades. We've literally been working with this for over 50 years now. A lot of research, a lot of refinement has gone into this. We have applied this approach during the last 17 consecutive years and kept very, very close records of this so that we're able to track our performance. This has been independently audited, and we've not had any losing years in the market during that time frame, including, I should say 2008 when there was a big market crash. We had an outstanding performance that year. So we can be in bear markets, bull markets alike, and this methodology consistently delivers results. Again, we have outperformed the Dow Jones Industrial Average by an average of 559% per year using this approach. Now, this system has been tested. We've tweaked it when we need to try to refine it along the way, and we've reached what we believe is an extraordinary standard of performance with it. With this system, we minimize the trading risk, and the system also helps us identify those high probability opportunities for the maximum returns possible from our trading engagement here. Now, this really works. It works to get market-beating results very, very consistently. We've proven that to our satisfaction. Again, we want to remind you, as we said with our opening disclaimer, past performance doesn't guarantee future results, but we're real pleased with the past performance here. Now, following this system that we just described can be a little bit challenging because there are a lot of steps to follow. Doing it is not very difficult. If you have a little sufficient astro trading knowledge, or have that as a resource, if you're part of one of our membership programs, and we're providing that information for you as you go along, that can be a real help if you don't have the background. But essentially, there are lots of steps to follow. You want to pay attention to them, and it's absolutely, absolutely critical to do them in the right order if you're going to be successful with this approach. Now, that's why we've just launched a brand new training program to provide some reinforcement about the right order, how the steps work, how to optimize this, how to do the background astrological work along the way that can help you get these results and do this analysis. We're calling this new program the Astro-Trading Intensive. And this is a very, very dramatic advance in what we've been able to offer in terms of providing compact, very highly focused training to get you up to speed rapidly with astro trading results. Now, this is a program that's ready to transform your personal trading results. It cuts through the crap, basically. We don't beat around the bush with this one. We focus exclusively on what it really takes for you to succeed in astro trading. You get professional step-by-step training designed to boost the consistent profitability of your personal trading. This, by the way, is a complete a training program. It deals with the core essentials of what you need for astro trading success. This is not the kind of program you enroll in and we get you through the lessons and then we say, now if you really want to know how this works, get our advanced deal here at a higher price. There are no shenanigans here with this one. There's not an attempt to upsell you to something else. We, of course, have lots of other tools and resources available to you. We encourage you to purchase those and to use them and to work with us on an ongoing basis. But this is really designed to be comprehensive and self-contained, and there's no trick to it. Let's put it that way. The Astro Trading Intensive will get you out of your overwhelm and into action. That's one of the reasons we have formatted it as we have, to encourage you, almost compel you to take action right away so you can start getting results. So what we're doing here is setting the stage for trades like these. Now, these are some examples from our own model portfolio over the last few weeks that we've dealt with. We bought some shares of Amedesis Incorporated. AMED is the trading symbol. Bought 100 shares back on the 22nd of July. It was priced at $126.21. We sold those on the 5th of August for $133 a share. This brought us a $679 profit. That was a 5.38% gain in 10 trading days. We calibrate things in terms of trading days because those are the days of exposure in the markets. 10 trading days is equivalent of 2 weeks calendar time. So we like to point that out here, that we're trying to minimize the risk by shortening the exposure in the markets. And in this case, we held this position for 10 days and got that result. Quanta Services, PWR, trading symbol there. This was a short position. On the 30th of July, we sold short 300 shares. They were priced at $38.02. When we made that sale, we went back and bought to cover at $34.45 on the 9th of August. And what happened there was we brought in a $1,071 profit, 9.39% gain in just 8 trading days. A very, very successful trade there with that particular short position. And because we were doing our studies of the market cycles using the tools at our disposal, we identified several positions that looked favorable for selling short right at the end of July. Another of them was ExxonMobil, which we also sold short on the 30th of July. Sold short 200 shares. Priced at $75.35. Then we bought to cover those shares on the 19th of August at $69 a share, bringing in a profit of $1,270, an 8.43% gain in 14 trading days. So almost 3 weeks exposure there in terms of calendar time. So this is a good point to repeat our disclaimer. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Obviously, we want to show you some of our successful trades using this methodology, because this is not just what's possible, it's what moves things forward for us on a regular basis. We We do, of course, have some losing trades along the way. Typically, our losses are much, much, much smaller than the gains that we have in our trades, and so that's the basis for our ability to say we can outperform the Dow by 559% per year using this. So this new program, our Astro-Trading Intensive, is jam-packed with key information to help you get those kinds of results. This is what we're after with all this. And you can use it, the information, to boost your trading results. There are all kinds of things that get covered in this new instructional program, including how you can uncover trading advantages with positional cycles in the markets, how to use planetary guidelines for effective multiple time frame market analysis. We like to look at multiple time frames to confirm our trading positions. 5 powerful strategies for calculating initial stop loss levels for your trading positions. How you can apply the law of vibration as developed by W.D. Gann to reveal more potentially profitable trading opportunities. The unique characteristics of the 8th harmonic in high-performance trading. We do a lot of work with planetary harmonics. We've discovered that the 8th harmonic is especially important. That's part of the training in this program. 5 steps to successful transit backtesting for higher probability results in your personal trading. Discovering key interactions of pattern, price, and time. This is what creates the market trends. We want to know how they work together so that you can benefit from those results. Secret tricks for correctly coordinating planetary positions with specific prices in the markets. The planetary positions will tell us not just the direction of the markets, but the price levels as well if you use the tools correctly. The best winning strategies for closing out your trading so we don't have to question how long do I hold a position, what's the best way of managing the positions that I've got with the market along the way here. Our slides are stuck and wide. It may take a minute to wake up here. Everything typically works very, very well until we get to an exciting point like this, and then I don't remember what the next slide is. Hello? Okay. So bear with me, it's looking here, and then we'll see. Well, I'm not getting cooperation from our little device here. Let's see if we close the slide presentation, perhaps. And then come back to it. Let's see. Nope. Okay, we got it to go away. Maybe we can restart it and find where we left off. Okay, now let's start it here. See if it likes us now. Yes, there we go. Okay. So you'll also learn in this program about observing planetary correspondences to correctly identify future trading opportunities. This is fundamental to what we're doing here, expanding your own opportunities for personal wealth with the power of the Astro-Trading Advantage. How you can profit in your trading by connecting with the unique psychology of the sun. That's a very, very interesting study, and we dig into that in some depth here with this program. How to match exact astro indicators with their strongest correspondences in the markets. If you don't have the right matches there, you won't get the right results. 6 major warning signs that tell you to avoid trading a specific stock. Astrological evidence of price meeting time in the markets. That's a fascinating area and can make you your trading much, much more successful when you can apply that. A simple method for profiting from dynamic cycle correspondences. Very, very active work there as well. 6 essential relationships between planetary dynamics and dramatic market action. And there's much, much more in this program. Just wanted to share with you some of the highlights involved there along the way. So the Astro-Trading Intensive is available now in an online edition, so you can get immediate access to it along the way. So we want to make sure that you're aware of that. Let me see if I can make sure we bring this up here. So if you join us for this new program today, we do have an introductory launch period discount on tuition, which gives you over a 50% discount on the regular tuition for this program. So this is a very, very good time to get involved. This will be available for the next day or two, I think. So we're getting close to the end of this launch period. So it's obviously your advantage to get involved with this. If you sign up now, you'll also be getting bonus Astro Trading materials. These are worth $3,499 as your free gifts with purchase. We promise to tell you how you can do that, so here's what they are all about. Bonus number 1 is a complete set of MP3 audio downloads for the entire Astro Trading Intensive. We have all the material presented to you with video online when you sign up for the program. You'll also get the instant access to all the audio soundtracks from the lessons, so you can listen to them at your convenience when you're not watching the videos. Great reinforcement there. If you're auditory learning style, it's a big benefit along the way. The second bonus is a complete set of all the PDF downloads of the slide decks. We use different slides for each of our training programs. Each portion of the class has a separate slide deck. You're going to get all of those slides using all of those. It's a $250 value. Yours free as the second bonus. The third bonus is we're going to be having a live Q&A conference call. We'll be doing this late in September once our new members have had a chance to work with the course material. This is exclusively for members who signed up for this program, and you're going to get live personal answers. We'll connect via conference call. We'll take the time we need to answer your questions and concerns about the course material, about your own trading. We will be recording that session, and you'll be getting a copy of the recording as well after the fact, obviously. So if you missed the session, we would encourage you to send in questions via email, and we'll deal with those also during that Q&A call. This is a $200 value. We think it's important to get that information about the things that you didn't get to ask earlier, and sometimes it takes a while to absorb information, and to have that follow-up we think is essential. That's why we're providing that $200 bonus for you as well. The fourth bonus is the big one here. This is a complete copy of our online training course in Basic Stock Market Astrology 3.0. And this is the evolution, if you will, from our original Basic Stock Market Astrology home study course, which goes back some years. And originally when we had that, it was a $2,400 program at the time, and we've had hundreds of people who bought the different versions of that. It originally came out on cassette tapes and CD version. Norman, I think, is with us here. Norman was one of the original folks who took that class back some years ago, if I recall, Norman. I don't remember whether you got the CD version or probably it was the cassette version. At any rate, we now have it available online and have added material. It's updated there. This is a $2,400 value, $2,395. You're getting that absolutely free. We're going to send you this entire additional course to give you the background information you need as an adjunct, as an additional resource to the material covered in the Astro Trading Intensive program. Also, you'll be getting a copy as bonus number 5 of the classic Astro Trading ebook, How to Time the Next Market Trading Top. This is a $97 value. It's a step-by-step approach to using key factors in astro trading so that you can understand upcoming market trends and do forecasts with pinpoint accuracy. We walk through the entire process that we use for longer-term market forecasting using these tools, and so certainly something that you can benefit from in that regard as well. And then finally, bonus number 6, if you sign up for this program here with the Astro Trading Intensive, we're going to provide you with an entire month of free membership in our Gold Plus Elite Astro Trading membership program. You get access to all the features and benefits, including complete access to the website materials. We have over 3,700 pages of resource material on the website for our members. We have our weekly conference calls. You'll get invited to those. You'll get our newsletter on a regular basis. This is a comprehensive done-with-you program to enhance your personal trading results. Ordinarily, this is a $257 a month membership program. you're getting an entire month free, an additional $257 value. So the total value of these bonuses, $3,449 along the way. The Astro Trading Intensive is overall an incredible value in and of itself because this gets you fast results. We designed this program so that you will spend less than 7 hours in working with the video material in the course and get clear, easy to learn format. It walks you step by step through the whole process. Of course, because it's available with online video, you can go back and rewatch as much as you need to, and we're providing you then with the materials to make that work. And because we got the launch discounts going on right now, you can get started with this program today for as little as $199. And so we do, I think, have a link available here. So here's what to do right now. Yeah, this should be showing somewhere on your screen here. And there's a button here that says, and this is now with $3,500 worth of high-level bonuses. It's actually $34.99. So forgive that extra dollar there, but it says, give me more information. That's where we want to click, the little button that says, give me more information. This will take you to a page that has lots of details about the program and a link for the sign up as well. Or you can go directly to this link if you're watching the recording of this session and don't see the button or prefer to do it in a separate browser window. You go to http://bit.ly/ATEG819, and AT is capitalized, EG is lowercase. That is case sensitive. So bit.ly/ATEG819 will get you to that page. So don't pass up on this opportunity to connect with the new Astro Trading Intensive training program, because we wanted to be able to share that with you with our webinar today, because it's brand new and because we believe it will give you a way of accelerating your progress with Astro Trading, and we would make sure that opportunity. So if we have questions, go ahead and get them in along the way. And you jumpstart your Astro Trading performance with this program. Get you off to a very, very solid start if you're not using the Astro Trading tools already. And you get the bonuses worth $3,499, including, of course, the MP3 audios, $300 value for all the material that's in the class. You can listen to it independently at your convenience. I think it's great to listen to this kind of thing when I'm on the treadmill or driving, otherwise occupied. It's great to review material. I'll do a lot of my learning that way. So that's one of the my personal favorites. Of course, you also get the PDF downloads of all the slides, the entire slide deck from each part of the presentations in this program, in this entire training program. So you can go back and look. We have, of course, the text there and the working points, also a number of charts and graphs included in those slides. So it's helpful to have that as a reference as well. $250 value, yours for free. We'll be having our conference call. We put a $200 price tag on this. This is only for participants in this class. So join us, and you'll get this opportunity to have questions answered live and in person. Whatever concerns you about your trading or about material in the course, anything's fair game there. And we will take as much time as we need with that call when it is scheduled. So make sure that you get your questions answered. If you can't make the call when we schedule it, send us your questions via email ahead of time. We'll discuss them during the call. And, of course, we'll record that and get you the recording to you as well. Also, you're getting the entire basic stock market astrology 3.0 training program, value of $23.95 in its original physical edition. Yours free as well. The $97 ebook on how to time the next market trading top. And what I think is really the most important bonus of all, this month's free membership in our Gold Plus Elite Astro Trading program. This is a very, very powerful program. We spend a good bit of time with our members. You get a lot of hand-holding. It's designed to be a done-with-you program so that we help you get the results in your own trading along the way. So Here's where we're going to click. It says invest 6 hours and 54 minutes. That's the exact amount of time that it takes to watch all of the videos in the program here. So we presented this originally, by the way, in a single one-day training intensive back-to-back webinars during a full, very exhausting day. So we covered a tremendous amount of material because we wanted to get people up to speed rapidly, and that's what's going on with the videos that you can watch. Of course, go to this email address or this website, bit.ly ATEG819, AT capitalized, EG lowercase. Questions I'm not seeing coming in on the chat box here. And for those of you who are still with us, be glad to answer whatever questions you may have. In the meantime, of course, we want to encourage you to go ahead and click that link. You'll get lots more detail on the Astro Trading Intensive there. And we do encourage you to join us for this program because it'll get you up to speed very rapidly. And what happens is that you'll get a notification then once you've signed up. It will take a few minutes to get a password generated for you. We have what we call human-assisted automation. So there are a couple of manual steps that we need to take once you do sign up. So it's immediate access, but not instant access. So let's put it that way. So you can get started on the course materials right away. You'll get access to all the bonuses as well. And you'll be getting a separate password then if you get the bonus with the Gold Plus Elite membership that will get you into the membership site. We'll get you hooked up with the conference calls on a weekly basis. We also have some training programs and extra bonus materials for our Gold Plus Elite members that you'll be getting access to through that as well. That's an enormous value in and of itself. And that's certainly something we want to encourage you to take advantage of. So here's what you're getting right now, all the Astro Trading Intensive video recordings. Of course, that's 6 hours and 54 minutes of material there. Bonus number 1 is our MP3 audio downloads of all the sessions, $300 value. Bonus number 2, the slide decks from all the sessions, a $250 value. Bonus number 3, a follow-up Q&A conference call, $200 value. Bonus number 4, the complete basic stock market astrology 3.0 training program. The original price of this was $2,395. Bonus number 5, how to time the next market trading top. This is our ebook, $97 value. Bonus number 6, 1 month of Gold Plus Elite membership. That's a $257 value, so that you get a chance to sample that experience for yourself. We believe that if you work with that membership on an active basis, you're going to want to continue. At least that's our hope there, because we provide an extraordinary level of service and guidance for our members in that Gold Plus Elite membership program. Of course, you get evergreen access to all these materials, and then that means you pay once and you can get back to it whenever you like. Question here from DC. Method has more losing trades than winners, but is it overall profitable? Absolutely. And in fact, let's see if I've got our current figures here. This is year to date. DC, if I can find, here it is. So far this year, we've had 133 completed trades. We've had 62 winners and 71 losers. That has brought us a net profit of $12,491.95 so far. So we recalibrate our model portfolio to $100,000 at the beginning of each trading year. So since January, we are now up about 12.5%. With having more losing trades than winning trades. Now here's the trick. Our winning trades have averaged $550.55 per trade. Our losing trades have averaged $321.52 per trade. So we take smaller losses than the winning trades, and over time, this gives us this edge in the markets. This has been a very, very choppy year to trade, and sometimes those numbers will vary year to year a little bit in terms of the percentages, but it's not unusual for us to have more small losses and fewer larger winning trades with this particular approach. That's why we take a disciplined approach to it. We're very, very disciplined in following our methodology, and this is what gets us those results. It's also why we evaluate in terms of the annual performance rather than, did I lose money this week or not? Sometimes we'll have a losing week, but overall we outperform the markets very, very consistently by taking this approach. So I appreciate you asking that question, because again, that goes right along with our disclaimer statement. You can, and in fact do, have some losing trades when you enter the markets. But the key to all this is the high probability selection of the trades, our very rigorous backtesting, and our highly disciplined money management, including identifying those stop loss orders in advance so that we get those results. So appreciate your comment and your question there. Other questions? We'd be glad to deal with those as well. Incidentally, this is not unusual for some of the most successful traders that I've had the occasion meet, regardless of the methodologies that they use. It's not unusual to see traders have an overwhelming percentage of losing trades, and they may have 150, 200 losing trades a year, but come out fabulously wealthy because they have 3 to 5 extremely successful trades against that. So we tend to be a little closer to the 50-50 mark than that. But even with an extreme difference, it's not unusual for the most successful professional traders to have more losing trades than winning trades, but really learn how to optimize the returns from the winning trades. So that's why we're overall profitable with this. Again, a great question. Other questions, comments, be glad to take time with them here. So join us for the Astro-Trading Intensive. Go to this web address or click the button on the side of your screen there if you're seeing this. We are recording this session, and so if you're watching the recording, you may or may not see the little button to click. That's why we wanted to be sure to print this with us so that you could look it up on your browser. Do take action on this right away, because we are running out of the time on the launch period here when the discounts are available with this program. You want to be sure to get this at the discounted price, and also, of course, collect those bonuses worth $3,499. So click through to get signed up right now, or go to this thing or questions. That being the case, we'll get ready to shut things down here with our program. That's give me my exit slide. There it goes. I did want to thank you for joining me. This is the one that we wanted to end up with here. My thanking you. Appreciate having the time with you together here today. I hope this has been helpful and informative to you. We do these on a fairly regular basis, looking at what's going on with the markets. What's different about our presentation today is the information on our brand new program, the Astro-Trading Intensive. Very, very excited about it in terms of what it can do for you to get you up to speed with a lot of the essentials of astro trading, advance your knowledge if you're already using astro trading, and of course we wanted to sweeten the pot as much as possible here, which is why we've added these bonus materials as well. So that's what's working now in astro trading. This is Tim Bost with FinancialCyclesWeekly.com. Go ahead and join us here for our Astro Trading Intensive program. If you haven't done so already, take time to do that right away while you can still get in with the discount price. So have a great evening, everybody. Have a great weekend. We're facing hurricane weather, it looks like here. So if you are encountering the same, we wish you well with all of that. And so take time to batten down the hatches, and we'll be communicating real soon with all of you with more information on the Astro Trading Advantage. Good night, everybody.